So the case prep is complete. Sanded, bondo, and painted the 3D printed case, and now I'm putting everything back together. I thought I would do a recap video to sort of discuss how the entire amplifier works from the ground up. So here we have two 48 volt power supplies. They're both rated at about 380 watts or so. Sorry, 350 watts. And they're used for the two power rails. So negative 48 volts and positive 48 volts on one rail. On here we have a battery powered temperature sensor thermometer. It's battery powered, so I could turn the amp off and see how hot it is. And it is connected to the aluminum heatsink in the back. In the back I have 4 fans. These are the main driver boards here. I have 4 MOSFETs per stereo channel, and then 6 for the main subwoofer channel. We could see we have drivers, so these are the initial drivers that provide amperage to power the main drivers. This is class AB, so every single channel and rail is individually balanced. Alright, up next I just installed the preamp board. So the preamplifier takes in a signal here from another board I'll discuss later. And it does two things. It goes through a 12 volt op amp section. I'm using high quality chips here. So it takes the incoming voltage, 400 millivolts RMS, etc. and it increases the voltage and also provides a buffer. It then goes through this circuitry here, which are tone controls. We have bass, mid, and treble, and this is for the stereo channel, including volume. And the output of this is tied to the master volume, which controls both the bass as well as the stereo channels. So we have all of that circuitry that goes through the tone control, and then it comes out here to these high voltage op amps. These can take 60 plus, 60 minus, but right. All right, so she is finally done. Almost. Still got to print a new top for it, but all the electronics are connected and working. 2 speaker channels, subwoofer channel, ammeter, voltmeter. You can see the wattage currently being pulled. We have thermometer, VU meters for left and right channel. We have auxiliary input, RCA input, and of course Bluetooth, which is how I'm streaming the music right now. Let's take a look inside. All right, so ton of extra circuitry on top of the preamp. Let's go through it. We have the Hall sensor here, which is responsible for determining the amount of amperage going through the 2 power supplies. That's how we calculate the wattage. We have this fuse board here, which acts as a really power distribution center. We have positive, negative, and ground with the 2 fuses. We then go out into this little DC to DC converter. So we have 50 volts going in here, or in our case about 48 volts, and we have 12 volt positive and negative coming out. So both positive and negative. This is the Bluetooth board. So it receives Bluetooth, but it has a relay built in. So secondary inputs are either from the auxiliary or the RCA's in. This is the voltmeter control board. So the signal coming in from here goes into the preamp board, comes out here, and then goes out to power the VU meters. These are the soft power on relays connected to both the 12 volt and the output of the main amplifier. The idea here is that this will take about 3 seconds after you turn the amplifier on for the relays to click on. That way we don't get any DC signals feeding into the speakers. In addition to that, if we have any DC voltage leaking through, so let's say something happens to the amplifier, there's a bad bias, if there's more than 0.7 volts DC going through this board will detect that and cut off the relays. So really good stuff, keeps the speaker safe And again, there's no pop when you turn on the amplifier because of that. And that's about it. I think I kind of showed everything. And let's see what happens. Power it on, and you'll hear the relays click after 3 seconds. There you go. Relays are connected. Fans are running. See the power. And now let me stream some music from my phone. So we have bass control for the stereo channels. See, bass is down. Tons of bass. Mids. Highs. And then this is how I control the stereo channels relative to the subwoofer channel. So this is a volume control. That way I could, if it's all the way down, it's all subs. And if it's all the way up, it's all speakers. So I find a perfect balance. And this just sounds incredible. Please remember the full build log, all of the videos are on my site, loudfiat.com.